Hey guys, how's it going? SoCal here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some load development for the 6.5 Creedmoor. I took the day off from work today and went out to a 100-yard range. Not my standard range that I normally go into, but I figured today it would be a lot less crowded than normal, so I opted to go to this range just because it was closer. Anyway, took out the AI and with the 26-inch Creedmoor barrel that it has on it, I was trying to optimize that little extra 2 inches of barrel length. Been having a great time and a lot of luck with the Hornady factory ELDs. This business right here, fantastic bullet, amazingly accurate through the barrel, but they're $1.20 a piece, and I was looking for a way to save a little money. Reloading my own, I can make them for about half that at least. So did some shooting, got myself 8 different loads here all marked up, and you guys are interested? Bring it over to the bench and we'll talk about it in a minute. Alright, so the first group that I shot was, let's see, it was 40.5 grains of, what was I using, H4350, and you can tell the group was very low. Got 2 here. All these groups are going to be 5 shots each. So I got 2 holes here, and then kind of this little happy face at the bottom here. That group was 1.25 MOA. Velocity was 2672. Extreme spread was 28, which is kind of nutty, and then standard deviation number of about 13.5. We bumped it up to 40.8, and we're starting to come down in size. At least we're on target now. The velocity's come up a bit, about 22, and well, make that 20. And so yeah, it's 40.8 grains. 1.2 MOA group there. At least I'm on target, but kind of flying all over the place. I will say that this range, I was sort of like sitting in a little tiny chair as a 5-year-old at the big boys table. There wasn't proper shooting tables where you have the cutout for your body to get behind the gun correctly. This was basically like sitting at a bar on a tiny little stool. The gun was way up high. The table itself was not stable, so it was a little difficult to do this. But anyway, that aside, the next group was 41.0 grains of the same H4350, a little bit smaller, coming in at 1.15 MOA, picking up velocity at 2705. Extreme spread was 25 with a standard deviation of 9.4. This is kind of where it starts to get a little better. Here's the next group, 41.2. This was a junk group because this flyer here, that was more than likely me. 1.3 MOA, 27.24 on the velocity, with extreme spread of 14 and a standard deviation of 5.9. That's very consistent, but it's just a little bit on the slow side for my 26-inch barrel. So moving out here to the 41.4, this is where it gets really good, and I'm happy with these next 3 groups. At 41.4, 0.8 MOA, 2741 average speed with a extreme spread of 25 and a standard deviation number of 10.5. That's pretty darn good. And somewhere between this and this next one, I think, is where I'm headed. 41.6 with an MOA of 6.3, even with this crazy stupid flyer. 2747 on the velocity, and extreme spread of 31. Standard deviation number of 11.7. It's a little bit crazy, but with a group like this, I mean, that was all me. I'll take that credit. That's not a bad group at all. So moving on along, 41.8 here. That's not a bad group either. 0.9 MOA. This was my last shot, and I was looking at this group thinking, all right, don't screw this up, don't screw this up. Yeah, I screwed it up. So again, that kind of trashed the entire group here. The first shot was right through the bullseye. Really happy with this. 2767 again, with a extreme spread of 21, standard deviation number of 10.2, and then we added 0.2 grains of powder, 0.85 MOA, 2767 again with an extreme spread again of 21 and a standard deviation number again of 10.2. It's kind of crazy that these two bottom nodes were exactly the same. So that's kind of like a great spot to be in. So anyway, what I think I'm going to do is load up two more sets of rounds. We're going to go with 41.8, and then we're going to do another one at 41.5, which is going to be somewhere between these two guys. I think those are going to work out really well. And then just for shins and giggles, this little middle thing here, I actually had a staple, and this was at 104 yards. I had a staple in the paper going right here, just hold it to the backer. And I didn't really have anything to aim at, but I wanted to test just the velocity of the factory ELDs. And first shot hit the staple at 104 yards. All props to Accuracy International for making one of the most accurately stupid rifles on the planet. And then I backed it up with junk, apparently. So anyway, 0.93 MOA group, 27.15 on the average velocity, and then these two numbers out here, you're not going to really be able to do anything with just 3 shots, but extreme spread of 37 and standard deviation 18.9. So anyway, if anybody's looking at loading 300 Cream or 6.5 Creedmoor, and you kind of need a place to start, do keep in mind that I am running a 26-inch barrel, not a 24-inch barrel. A little bit longer. A lot of these velocities are much higher than you're going to get by about 40-ish on the velocity factor with a 24-inch barrel. So I'm going to go with right in the middle here between these two groups at 41.5 and probably 48 or 41.8. There's some magic in this little spot right here. There's 0.4 grains of powder. We like that. Not a huge jump in velocity, but nice and accurate. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video. If not, it's too bad. You guys know the drill. Hit that sub button, give me a thumbs up, and stick around.